We're back on another edition of the Coach Dave Jacobs Show. It's brought to you by Sinclair Foods. And Coach Jacobs, in recent shows, we've been talking about breaks not going the team's way. However, after we last talked last week, you did get some good news or better news concerning a couple of your players that were injured.
Yeah, we got Drew Sauerwein cleared, and he was able to play against Waterloo, and I thought he did it. I thought he played great. Blake Whitman, who we thought might have had a torn MCL, turns out it's not that, and hopefully on Monday he'll go to the doctor, and hopefully he'll get cleared for this week. And so I mean that's good news for those guys, and we'll get two guys that got kind of dinged Friday, Derek Hill and Ethan Miller. I think they'll both be able to play on Friday. Ethan goes to the doctor again today, but we should be good.
It was a pleasure to see Drew in uniform prior to warm-ups. I was not up to date on what his situation was, but I guess it's not like he told the coach, "Hey, I feel better, you're going to play." He actually went to the doctor, and the doctor cleared him.
Yeah, it was a back and forth week. I mean, without getting into all the details, he was never officially diagnosed with a concussion, and so he went to the doctor on Monday, and the doctor thought he was fine. And there was just some miscommunication there with the physician and our trainer and athletic director, and we ended up getting it worked out. So we were glad to have him.
And that being said, you mentioned that you thought he played great. I thought it might have been his most impressive game, the way he was able to do things on the run and make some really good throws.
Yeah, I'm just so proud of him. He has really shown a great deal of toughness all year long, and for him to come back like he did this week and really extending plays when he gets flushed outside the pocket. I mean, that was most of the plays where he kept his eyes downfield and was able to deliver a ball on the money. Just shows how special that young man's going to be, and I'm really proud of him. But I'm really proud of all of our guys. We played really hard on Friday. We fought, we competed, we came out, and we had the lead, and then they got that one bubble screen that went, and we kind of lost a little bit of momentum there. But I mean, it was back and forth, and I was really proud of our guys at the beginning, right at the end of the second half, when they went down and scored, and they kicked off to us and kicked it out of bounds. We made them kick it again, and then Logan Metzler, who I thought really had a breakout game for him, ran that back with some great blocking. And again, when you're having a season like we're having, the key is to keep the kids motivated and keep them fighting. And I was really proud of our guys on how we competed and fought last Friday. So that's a good sign.
Logan Metzler did have a good game. Was that I don't know how you identify your receivers. I know the Rams use XYZ, and a lot of teams use that. Do you designate your receivers by letter or something like that?
Yeah, and basically I put him in Blake Whitman's spot. Logan hasn't really gotten a lot of footballs thrown his way, and he really showed that he's capable. So this makes it good for this week. So now I can move some kids around and just really kind of fit kids into our offense where we can have threats on both sides. What we really need to have happen is we've got to get some kind of running game going, because that really puts a lot of pressure on Drew and our offensive line when they're when the defensive line and line, they're just blitzing all the time. So, but I think, with Logan having a breakout game and be able to move some kids around a little bit, I think things are going to be better this week.
I know you changed personnel with Connor Norris getting a start at the running back position, but he really didn't have much success. You put John in there again, and he couldn't get things going. Do you have to change up? Your plays just aren't working, and you're going to have to come up with some new designed plays to try to get them free?
Yeah, and to be honest, I mean some of our like we throw a lot of bubble screens. I mean that, and we're counting that as part of our running game. And really, it's a pre-snap read for our quarterback. I mean, if we're in a trips formation and Drew looks out there and they only have two covering our three, he's going to throw the screen. But we have a running play with it. So, I mean, there's times on film, you look at it, and if he'd have gave the ball, we'd have had a nice running play there. But he's doing what he's taught to do, so that's something that you got to live with. And we are actually counting those quick perimeter screens as part of our running game. So if we could ever get the backside, and I think by getting Blake back this week, by putting him at that backside receiver and going trips, now Drew can look at Blake as a pre-snap, look at the screen for the other pre-snap, and then be able to get us into a running play.
By isolating Blake out there, or do you use him more as a decoy by doing that?
No, I want to make him cover him.
Yeah,
I mean, he's, so I'm going to get Blake Whitman the ball if we can. So
and if they double him,
then we should have numbers to the screen side, and we can throw to either Logan or Derek Hill. And if they're going to put numbers there and numbers on Blake, then we should be able to run the ball. So
when you went empty, you were having what appeared to be designed quarterback running plays. Was that indeed the case, or did he see something that changed the play?
No, we had a special play called when they were in that 3-4, playing a 3-4 defense, where we had some good angles on, and we hit it a couple good times, and then they switched it from a 3-4 to a 3-3, and that's when we started to throw down the field a little bit more. So again, it's just a matter of our kids, of me, because it all falls on me, is just recognizing what the defense is doing and getting us in the right play.
And that toss reverse that did not work earlier this season in Mount Zion had some success in this game.
Yeah, again, Logan. I mean, they had Logan dead to rights there. They had two kids, and Logan just shook him and got outside and had, our backside lineman. If we were one block away from really scoring on that. So, again, with Logan coming out and playing like he did, it really helps. It's really going to help open our offense now that we have Blake back.
What you ask out of your receivers, I kind of alluded to it on the air. When you're throwing these screens, you want the man who receives the ball, he's going to have to make his defender miss and then depend on his blockers. I mean, he's got to do more than just catch the ball. He's got to make a guy miss.
Right, and there's two different screens that we run. One is just the perimeter bubble screen where, we have our inside receiver and our outside receiver. They're blocking the guy that's on them. So the next guy available would either be a linebacker or a free safety coming. So that's the kid that has to miss. But again, he's coming from a ways, so we're counting on what we want our kids to get 4. Go get your 4 yards, and then whatever we get after that's fine. Again, we're counting that as part of our running game. The other screens we run are a kind of a fire screen, slip screen stuff, where actually our inside receivers are going to be blocking out on the perimeter, and our linemen are releasing to go get the linebackers, and we're trying to catch it and get up the middle of the field. And our timing has just been really off on those, and that's just something that we got to work on, and we will this week.
Are there certain screens that you run to the far side of the field more than you run to the short side?
Well, I tell our quarterback to throw the screen to the side he's getting the most pressure on. So if they're blitzing from the field, he's probably going to throw the ball to the field. And again, our fire screens are something that we like when we're getting man coverage in the blitz. So we actually want the defense to blitz us and come up the field and try to hit it, and then be able to seal everybody out and have our receiver hit the middle of the field. But on those, our receivers are still they're when they take their steps and come back, they're coming way too far inside. And we play against very good coaches and very good teams, so the defensive linemen are taught when they feel a screen, they're to stop and retrace to where they came from. And when our receiver comes too far inside, it's usually those D linemen peeling back and getting them. And we need to time it up where we can stay outside better and get the ball out of our hand quicker and just get our linemen running and getting guys out of there. And it's just something that we got to work on.
And that middle screen to the back, it's really not been there for weeks now.
Well, again, they had a nose guard sitting there spying it. They have a guy spying the quarterback. If Drew would step up, they got a guy sitting there, and he's also in charge of the middle screen. And that's another thing that we've been working on with Drew is, when teams play us, they want to really come hard off the edge and force him to step up into the pocket because he's not real tall. They want to keep him contained. So we kind of added, okay, Drew, if you're getting edge pressure, step up but look to run. Don't look to extend the play. Now, when he gets flushed outside, that's when we want him to keep his eyes up and look to extend the play down the field and run. And so he's been doing that.
And he's been more than just doing it, I mean, putting the ball on a line while on the run.
Yeah.
I mean, he's showing he's got a 5'9" frame, but he's got a good arm.
Yeah, and the other thing I like is when he gets flushed out and he gets to the numbers of the field, get out of bounds. Go get what you can and get out of bounds and don't take hits. And that's something that, I mean, he's learning, but I mean, I thought he did a better job of that, of getting out of. There's a time where you can cut back on the back shoulder, cut the kid, but when they got you dead to rights, just get out of bounds and don't take the hit.
There was your screen game was working better in this game. It seemed like he had more of a rhythm, especially in that first half with the 2 scoring drives. And then they used a screen to get a big play. It seemed like that guy was just tiptoeing the sideline, and we had several chances to push him out of bounds, but couldn't do it.
Well, our corner took a bad angle. Our corner came inside of that outside receiver, and had he have just done what he's taught and get on the outside shoulder of that receiver and force that screen back, I mean, we had the pursuit coming. So our corner was the last line of contain. So he came inside, and once that kid was fast, and once he got to the sideline, we had nobody left out there. Mm-hmm. So, again, our corner has to do a better job when he recognizes that of turning the play back inside to our safety and our outside linebacker, and our inside linebackers coming inside out on that.
And then what seems to be an issue this season, teams scoring late in the half, and they did it. Actually, they scored, well, there were 3 total touchdowns in the last 97 seconds of the half, with them scoring twice, and then we get the big kickoff return. But is there a reason why that's happening that you can point to? Why those teams seem like they're getting these scores right before halftime?
Well, missed assignments and missed tackles. I mean, again, the first touchdown they got, our corner, just one guy didn't force it in. And had he forced it in, we would have tackled the kid. He would have had a nice gain, but it wouldn't have been a touchdown. The other one was a blown coverage. We called a man because we were blitzing, and we had 2 kids playing zone. And they ran right by us. And, when you got a young team and it's loud, like in that particular instance, the defensive, the half of our defense away from our sideline didn't get the signal. So, they have to see Coach Yates signal it, but, the DB and the linebacker to our sideline needs to pass it on. They need to pass it on to make sure everybody gets it. And our free safety is kind of the quarterback of the defense, and he needs to. So it was miscommunication. So when you have miscommunication, you have missed assignments. And then the other thing is, I mean, they just, which we've had problems with all year, they just wore us down running the ball. I mean, they had a big running back, and they had another little one that was strong, and you got to tackle them. And we had kids in position, even on that last touchdown. I mean, we stuffed the kid, and we didn't wrap him up, and he goes in. So, we have kids there, but again, and when you have a 16-year-old going against an 18-year-old, it makes a difference. And I'm really proud of our kids. I'm really proud of our kids and coaches, but because our kids came out and fought, and that's a really good sign. It's also a good sign our JV was down 22-0 against 20-0 against Waterloo on Thursday, and came back and beat them 22-20 without all these sophomores that are playing up. Our 8th grade won Saturday. Our 7th grade won Saturday in close ball games. And so, as far as the program sits, yes, it's rough going through it this year, but again, I'm proud of the way the kids are handling it, and our lower levels are doing well. So we're gonna keep fighting this week and finish this thing out as strong as we can.
And it was another game in which you had the lead going into the fourth quarter. In this instance, you had I think you've had the lead in 4 of the 6 games. So
yeah, and when things are going bad, they're going bad. I mean, when Marcus Luma made a great catch. When Drew got flushed out, he made a great catch, and we got called for holding, and it wasn't. And if he makes that catch, now we're up 2 scores at that particular time of the ball game. But Cole Berry actually got called for the holding, but you look at it on film, he was the only one that actually had his guy blocked, and everybody else, I mean, we kind of whiffed on, and Drew got flushed, and Cole had his guy stoned, and they called him for holding. And I mean, Drew made a great throw, and Marcus Luma made a great catch, and again, we would have had some big momentum up 2 scores, and then but that's just this is the way it goes.
Right. And it is a head scratcher. I mean, the way the season has gone, just one play here and there where it could really, put the onus on the other team, and that they're scrambling, but then they just happen to get a big play and they're right back in it. And it's just things like that all season long. Hopefully things will change on homecoming. We're going to take a break, talk about the next matchup. It's Jersey and Mascoutah Friday night. This is the Coach Dave Jacobs Show, brought to you by Sinclair Foods. Sinclair Foods has been a staple in Jersey County for many years. They're a store where you can count on quality meats, the freshest produce, and a bakery that still bakes its cakes from scratch. The small-town atmosphere is still at Sinclair's, where they still deliver groceries on Wednesday, and your groceries are bagged for you and carried to your car. On a night when you can't cook, check out delicious Champ's Fried Chicken in the deli and other delicious entrees and salads. Sinclair Foods, large enough to serve you, small enough to know you. Mascoutah's been giving up some high point totals. This could be a high-scoring game.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I mean, we're going to try to win it, whether it's low-scoring or high-scoring. And I think it's like you said, it's a head-scratcher. So, I mean, you never really know what's going to happen. Yeah. So we're going to coach and prepare and have our kids as ready as we can. And again, if they come out and play with passion and fight like we did, we'll have a great chance.
Mascoutah usually has a team that might not have put it all together, but they usually have 1 or 2 good athletes that could be dangerous.
Oh yeah, they have some great skill players. I know in talking with their coach, he's frustrated because he had some seniors actually, and that's a tough place to coach where you have kids and then all of a sudden they get transferred. With that, Scott Air Force Base, where they get transferred, the parents get transferred, and you got 2 or 3 years invested in a kid, and all of a sudden he's not there for his senior year, and they're big. They're number 8, the kid that started as a freshman. His dad got transferred to Germany, and so it's hard to build for him from his standpoint. It's hard to build that team unity when you never know year to year who you're going to get. Now the flip side is you may get some good ones in right away too. So, but yeah, I mean it's we've played well against Mascoutah in the past, and I look forward to doing it again.
Are there certain things that maybe fans should look for that the team is clicking a little bit? I mean, it was easy to see in this last game. It seems like there was a rhythm, especially on offense. That's what you would like to start every game, the way you started this past game.
Yeah, and we will, and we're going to move some kids around. And like I said, with Logan having a game like he did, we're going to be able to move some guys around and be able to attack the entire field. And so that's something to look for. And also, being able for us to really extend the ball down the field. Drew has showed that he's got a very strong arm, and we have some good receivers. So we're going to be looked to throwing it, and which hopefully should help our running game.
Exactly.
So, and then the biggest thing for us is just we're so young on defense, and our coaches are working hard, and we got new coaches there, and it's just a process where we're going to continue to grow and keep getting better. And people don't have the opportunity like we do to watch the film. And our kids are actually in the right spots. We're just not finishing the play, or we're just a little slow getting there because we're young, or they don't make the right read on a certain play. And that all comes with experience and age and strength. And so it's not as bad as it looks. I can say that.
One of these teams will get win number 1 this weekend. We hope it's the Jersey Panthers, and we expect a big crowd at the Snyder Sports Complex to root on the 2015 Jersey Panthers on homecoming night. Good luck, Coach Dave Jacobs.
Thanks. Hope to see a big crowd.